Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. Today the topic of my work is an article which has been written by Jinko Togo and Jean-Louis Marcel. Both of these have an experience in organization behavior and leadership, and so I would like to share with you an article on how to pre-examine team conflict with you all. Basically, what this article is about, it's a summative topic and it tells us about team conflicts and how we can reduce them while working in an office environment. So basically what they have told in this article is that team conflicts can add value or destroy it. So what does this statement mean to you? So basically, in my opinion, when we have a good conflict, the result of that conflict is beneficial for our team. However, if we are having a bad conflict, so basically bad conflict occurs when team members simply can't get past their differences, which in return kills the productivity and the innovation which can be incorporated in any decision making process of a team. So basically, whenever we are sitting and doing a teamwork, whether it be an office or in any educational place, we need good ideas to keep coming so that we can reach a positive conclusion about it. However, if the conclusion is not satisfactory, then what happens is that it results in bad conflicts, and these issues keep on rising until a proper solution or a peacemaker comes in, and then still the teams cannot unify themselves in a decision, and these problems keep on arising as the time passes. In the next page, I'll be telling you about what are the major causes which leads to conflicts. So, what the writer says is that disparate opinions aren't the root of the problem. However, most destructive conflict stems from something deeper, a perceived incompatibility in the way various team members operate due to any number of factors, including personality, industry, race, gender, and age. So basically the thing is that when you're working in a team, you have different genders of people who are working together, whether it be a male or female, and both of these genders are trying to maintain their dominancy over one another. And the second thing is that each person has a different personality, and their industrial experience is also different, and the origin from which they are coming from is also different. So all these factors leads to a number of conflicts that can be detrimental for a person. The conventional approach to working through such conflicts is to respond clashes. Like the way when we are sitting together and working in a team, people mostly think that if they are responding to a conflict, it's a good thing to address a problem. However, mostly what happens is if one person is being ignored and the other person is being supported, what happens is that uh, their approach fails. So this is the reason that we need to maintain a uniform system where each person has a right to deliver what they want to tell the other person, but at the same time we have to maintain an environment where there are no such disputes that lead to problems later on. Okay, so further the writer is telling about the 25 years research team dynamics where Fortune 500 corporations have worked, and so they have developed different experiences and which have been shared over this article. Okay, so the writer now says that we have developed and tested a methodology which has mainly focused on five areas: how people look, act, speak, think, and feel. So basically, team leaders are facilitate 20 to 30 minutes conversation at least, where they are all sitting together and discussing everything. So basically, the thing is that exchange of ideas and feedback is very important, but there should be non-judgmental. Like a person should not be judged professionally or personally through the opinions which the person is giving. Uh, so what next is there is that working on a team means collaborating with people whose approaches may differ from your own. So we need to have a five conversational topic approach given as in this article. This means that as a facilitator, we have to make sure that people are comfortable sharing at their own pace and coach them how to ask clarifying non-judgmental questions of one another. And we have to encourage everyone to start over from the scratch when they are coming to a company, and this is a really important approach that I learned from this article. So basically, okay, so another point that has been mentioned in this article and that I personally like is that it's forwarded an idea that people answer questions like what they perceive and what others perceive. So these are two different worlds in which people have to discuss each problems in terms of an developed organization. What does mainly matter is the attitudes and behavior expected as a result of each person's cumulative personal and professional experience. This means that when a team is sitting together, they have to consider each person's uniqueness and their differences, and then they have to amalgamate all the opinions that have been forward as a team. So team members are likely to be hesitant. Why is this hesitancy seen is that if you are new to a team, you usually don't know what other people will think about you. So usually first startup is difficult for you, but when you gradually know the environment and the team, you get better with each passing day. The five topics can be addressed in any order, and over here in this article, since it's a total research based articles, so they have addressed all these problems in a proper manner. Okay, so moving forward, we first have the idea in brief, like the problem. So the problem is that team conflict interrupts not because of differences in opinion, but because of a perceived incompatibility in the way different team members think and act. People can't get past their differences. The resulting clashes kill productivity and innovation. So basically, this article is telling all the teams that the differences in each of us are there, but we have to use them to build good conflicts rather than bad conflicts. And an alternative view that has been forward is that differences in perspective and experience can generate great value of goals. A new methodology helps leaders guide their team through five conversations before work starts to build shared understanding and lay the foundation for effective collaboration. So basically, when I started my business as a team, I used to always promote these things in my own practice, which has been mentioned over here that in practice, the approach focuses on process of work rather than the content. So we have to see that leaders participate targeted discussions that explore the varying ways team members both act, speak, think, and feel to immunize the team against unproductive conflict with when the pressure is on. So basically what happens is human nature when we have a lot of pressure built on us, we are usually not responding like we do in the normal practice. So usually when there are teams and we all obviously know that in offices we have targets set. So we have to see how the pressure is being built and how the pressure should be moved on. So basically now we have the five categories which we'll be discussing in turn. So the first one is look. So it's important to spot the difference as presented in this article, that they have said that the goal of this conversation is to help team members reflect on how they intend to come across to others and how they actually do. So, a good place to begin a discussion about the drivers of status and team members' respective roles. For example, they are stating that we have to look upon every aspect of a person because each person is coming from a different background. So we have to function everything according to them, and then we have to see how managers in our team they engage in a certain thing and then they act according to that. So important questions that we need to ask is that how important are the punctuality and time limits. Next thing is, are there consequences of being late or missing deadlines? So all these things need addressing when we are working in a team, and what is comfortable physical distance for interacting in the workplace, and should people volunteer for assignments or wait to be nominated, and what group behaviors are valued, like helping others, not complaining, and different things. Because when you are working in a team you have to be helpful at the same time, and you don't have to look like you are too much involved in others work, because everyone in an organization needs space. So we have to maintain some boundaries while we are working in our workplace, and we have to see that who is new and who needs more encouragement than the others. So all these things need to be addressed, and we have to act in proper manner, like we have to avoid clashing behavior norms that become a source of trouble, and we have to be more communicative while we are working. And similarly we have to another thing is that we have to see attitudes about time that can stir about conflicts. So we have to see that people in a firm they are working differently, they have a different routine and different pace to work. So some people usually complete the same task in a given time, but others are slow. So we have to look upon each person's pace on how they are coping up with the work and the time they are giving. And it's important that to spend time in helping others instead of just looking about yourself. Also the thing is that we need to answer question that what is important, directness or just harmony maintenance in a work environment. We have to see that there is no person who is spreading irony and sarcasm, or there are no rude signals for one another, and if a person is silent, so the reason is either disengagement with a task, or is it because of any person's attitude. We have to check all these things. In other things we have to see that people in a work environment they have different speaking powers, and sometimes it happens that they get divided by language, which means that some people are more fluent and even native in English language, while others are having problem in coping up with them because they cannot perform that well as they are doing it. So basically what happens is that people are not using proper words which needs addressing, and so this problem arises especially in those workplaces where people from different ethnicity and origin are working together, and so it becomes a major clash in situations where people are not getting others point of view, and they are trying to be more into themselves and rather spreading a positive idea about the motive to others. Another thing is that differing attitudes about the importance of deadlines will often stir up conflict because, as I told you before, that people are mostly thinking about things that if a certain person is able to do it in this time period, you should also do it. But they are not seeing the thinking, the feeling of a person, and the mindsets which are different involved in an activity. Usually team members may differ widely in intensity of their feelings as well. People have different emotions, passions, and this also leads to the conflicts which begin as a simple talk and then they become huge conflicts. Okay, and next we have to see that uh, different examples which have been highlighted in this article are really expressive about things which usually we ignore while working in our workplace, especially the negative feelings which can be a sensitive issue with respect to the people who are involved in discussions. So we have to check the benefits of anticipating and heading off a conflict before it becomes destructive or immense. So we have to see that if we disagree to something, we should prove our point and we should indulge in healthy discussion rather than thing which becomes more difficult for us all. So let us just sum this up, the whole article, on one thing that we have to be more cooperative if we want to become good teams and move forward with our careers. So I just recommend all the viewers who have seen our video to be more adjusting when you are working in a team and highlight your point of view, but just don't indulge in negativity at any point. That's all for today. Thank you. Please like and subscribe our channel and keep watching Real World Education Network. Thank you.